so in this episode, this is going to be way different. I know you guys know Gus. He's the producer of this show, and he's going to kill me when he finds this out. I've been getting a few DMs from you guys saying that you guys love Gus. You love Gus, the host, the producer of Starter Stories. So I thought, why don't we have him also build stuff and you guys can follow along. I've been having a ton of fun with the 100K build challenge, vibe coding, building all sorts of different things. And I want to see more people do it. So in this episode, I kind of pretended we're going to be talking about something else, but I'm about to bring him on and surprise him and challenge him to the 100K build challenge. You guys will get to follow along the entire journey. We're going to propose different ideas that he can build here. We're going to bring him back on the podcast as he's continuing to build different things, what's working, what's not working, all his progress. And hopefully we'll see him win, make money, build cool stuff. So without further ado, I'm going to bring him on the podcast right now. Let's see his reaction and let's go. I told you that today we're going to be talking about some business ideas or something like that, but actually that was a lie. I actually have a totally different idea for this. And are you ready for it?
I guess. You're the boss.
The people in the comments, they want to see you win. And I want to see you try the 100K build challenge. I want to see you potentially try to build some stuff with AI, with vibe coding. I know that you've been wanting to build some things. So what if we, as a format of this podcast, you go out into the world, build stuff and report back on what you've done? What do you think about joining the 100K challenge?
You know, I think my ultimate answer is going to be, why not? We just recorded with a guy who was talking about vibe coding and building stuff. And I was super inspired by him. Obviously watching your 100K build challenge, I'm also inspired by that. And I've had the thought of, man, I want to do this. I want to get in on this kind of thing. But the thing that holds me back is just, as much as I talk about it on here, I feel a little bit like, I don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
It's a little like scary, I guess you could say, being vulnerable there. But it also, that's like what's cool about a challenge is like, you just try.
I mean, we talk about lots of business ideas on here. I think that's cool, but I want to take this channel to the next level. And I started the 100K challenge. I want to have you do the 100K challenge because I think that's what the people want to see. That's what I've been seeing in the comments. I think we have you go through the actual process of building things because you want to do that anyway. And let's see what happens. And I know it's probably through your thought process of like the fear or potentially, what you think could go wrong.
Yeah. My first thought is maybe we should make it the $1 challenge.
Okay. Yeah. That's probably better.
Walking through the fear. I think the fear is like, 1, I don't know what I'm doing. 2, I don't have any experience building this stuff. 3, the biggest one is what if it fails or what if it's dumb? 4 is someone already did that probably. And then I don't know, that'll never work. I think the real thing is like maybe something more along the lines of being a entrepreneur of sorts. Go like you can talk about all these ideas, but like, have you ever really done anything? And I think that's probably the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I feel scared of.
A little imposter syndrome.
Yeah, for sure. Imposter syndrome. Yeah. Exactly. That's a good word.
Yeah. I think that's the power of the challenge is that now it's in public. Thousands of people will watch this and that might sound scary, but then once it's published and once people hear about your challenge, now you're on the hook to do it. And then you kind of forget about the fears and you just find a way. And also know that if it doesn't work, if you don't hit the challenge, nothing is going to happen. We'll have learned. The worst case scenario is you'll have learned something. And that's the story of every founder. Hopefully people watching here will be rooting for you and also they'll want to do the challenge as well. So maybe we call it the $1 challenge.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Okay, yes. Yeah, let's do it. I think that'd be fun. So like, where do we start? That's like always the like number one question. Like, where do we start this?
This is the most exciting time because it's when you can come up with the idea and there's no repercussions for what could go wrong. So why don't we just find an idea? I have no idea what you want to build. I'm not going to give you an idea to build because every founder has their own idea that's unique to them. Maybe we can just like walk through starterstory.com, look at some ideas. You can maybe pitch me on some ideas that you've been thinking of or just problems that you've been experiencing in your daily life or at work. And we can kind of talk about some of the pros and cons about those ideas, maybe try to scope them down so that it doesn't feel super scary to build them. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Let me pull this up here. So I'm in Star Story. There's a lot of ideas in here, Pat.
Yeah.
Where do we start?
That's the scary part is when there's so many ideas. But what I like to do is I like to just like click through what feels interesting to you and then just like look at words and be like, well, that's kind of cool. I like that word, that angle, or that thing. So just click on what's interesting to you. This is our Starter Story database feature. We have databases of thousands of case studies of actually successful businesses because I think modeling your business or what you want to build, your idea off of a already proven idea is actually really smart. Doesn't mean you copy it, but that's kind of the premise of that. So just scroll through it. Is there anything somewhat interesting that sticks out to you? Any words or revenue numbers or anything in there?
First one, I think, is this one. Tech lockdown. I've read this case study actually.
Yeah.
11K a month sounds nice. $200 to start. That sounds nice too.
What is Tech Lockdown?
Tech lockdown. Let's click into it. So Tech lockdown is, it's like a focusing app.
Okay.
I think it's like a content blocking thing. It's like one of those like classic.
Yeah. Screen time.
Like screen time
it's like a site blocker for your phone.
Yeah, for your phone. There's another one on here. I think it's called Minimalist Phone that I've heard of too. It's like turns your phone into a dumb phone.
Right.
So that's one.
I use a bunch of site blockers.
Yeah. So there's a ton of these, obviously.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to buy one, but I never have for some reason. So that's like one of my first ideas is like some kind of time blocking app or something. Like phone, what's that called? Like screen time?
Yeah. Distraction eliminator type thing. Distracted world that we're in where literally these $1 trillion companies have like geniuses working there to distract you at all times. Getting is really important. What would you want? Is there something unique or something interesting that you could do in this space?
I saw this. See that there's one of the fears coming. I saw this app that this guy built. I feel like I had that idea and it's already done. I think the app is called like Touch Grass, and the phone locks unless you take a picture of yourself. It's like decrease your screen time, touch grass, and like the only way you can unlock your phone is if you literally take a picture of yourself touching grass. Unlock your apps for X amount of minutes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and like obviously you can go download it on the App Store.
This is smart. It looks pretty popular. 271 ratings. That means is it monetized? Does it make money?
I don't know, actually. I saw him on Twitter somewhere.
It offers in-app purchases. So yeah, it's probably making some money. Yeah. It's smart because it's like you can create content around this and it's just funny premise. I could see this going viral, some stupid article written about this.
Something like that.
And now with AI, it can analyze if you're actually touching grass.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's one idea. What do you think about that? Like too hard?
What would be your version of it?
Oh, I think my version of it would probably be, this is a stupid word. Take a picture of yourself with like sun in your face, get baked by the sun or something like that.
What would you call it? Get baked?
Maybe, yeah. Sun baked.
What's the meme though? So if touch grass is the meme, what's the other meme related to
get baked?
Get baked. Is that a meme though? Or are you inventing that meme? What's the actual other meme of touch grass? Maybe you could even chat GPT that. Like,
what does it mean?
Touch grass is such a, like, that makes sense to me right when I hear it. I don't need to understand what get baked is. I don't know. Get baked is getting stoned.
Yeah, it's like getting high. Go outside.
Touch grass means go outside. So what's the other version? Are there other memes related to going outside or distraction or maybe brain rot or something?
Go outside, log off, seek help.
I mean, what I think is somewhat interesting about this idea is that it's an app built around a meme that just by default gives it virality because memes are inherently viral, right?
Yeah.
Like if you made, what's the latest meme right now that's really popular?
Oh, I don't know.
Let's say, I don't know, and the Olympics came around and that guy, like there's the shooting guy meme.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't know, some app you could build around that where you could turn yourself into that guy. Okay, I like this. This is okay. What baked I have is the first idea.
Okay, let's see. Now you got my mind going.
This is what's cool about ideas, right? It's like you find more ideas by looking through Starter Story and looking at successful things and maybe plugging in the idea remixer, and you can unpack as you continue to go deeper and be curious.
Okay, so this is one we talk about a lot, and so it's called Bank Statement Converter. It's this app where all you do is upload like a PDF statement of your bank statement, and then it turns it into an Excel file.
Doesn't this business make like a crap ton of money?
Yeah, it makes, let's see if I can find the tweet here quick. Yeah, we tweeted about this recently. Every time this guy shares his revenue, I'm blown away. He just shared like last week that he made $38K in April, and it's just this like increasing revenue chart. And it's crazy because like we've talked about before, all you do is upload this and this is the whole app, and it turns it into a spreadsheet, and it makes 40K a month. That's crazy. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because I've always liked the idea of, not all, I shouldn't say always. I like the idea of you just drag something in, it pops out what you
Yeah.
want on the other side. And another guy we talked to last week or this week, we were asking him about like, how do you get ideas? And one of the things he said was like, find a repetitive task that you do and figure out like a way to automate it. So this one's more like work related, but something we do here at Starter Story is like, we put together all these prep documents for YouTube or YouTube interviews.
Yep.
And they're always the same with a little twist on who the person is we're talking to. So I think my idea is something around like a YouTube prep doc generator.
Yeah.
Stupid when I said it out loud.
No. What you said earlier is if you're doing this menial task, this repeatable thing, it means that there's a lot of other people doing it. Maybe it's in somewhat different contexts or they have different processes, but at the end of the day, you are preparing for some sort of film shoot, prep or something like that. So if you can automate sounds like it's a couple different things. Maybe like it's a little bit of research, a little bit of pre-production and other things. That could be interesting. I mean, if the bank statement converter is you just drag something and go back to the website, if the premise of that business is that you just upload something and you get a result, what is that version of that in video production?
The version of that I think would be like, so when we talk to these people, I'm taking notes, a bunch of notes on them, basically copy and paste those into this.
Yeah.
And then it would automatically create a whole prep doc in exactly how I want it or how we use it, I guess.
Yeah.
Like maybe it shoots out a title, some ideas for a thumbnail, like an overview,
right.
Maybe even like, here's the interview.
Right. And what's the reason that all this work is getting done? What's the outcome you're looking for?
The outcome I'm looking for is I do it all manually right now.
Yeah.
So I want it like to go faster. And then obviously the ultimate outcome is we do an interview with this guy.
Yeah.
This girl,
and
it gets views. Like it's good question. It's good like structure, format.
Yeah. I think that's a pretty good idea. What I like about that one, which we kind of talked about, what's the worst thing that happens is that we make better videos and we save time and money. And that doesn't mean it's something that has to be like, $1 million business. If it helps us, it'll also probably help other producers, which I like to also think about the outcome, which is what do we know about YouTube that maybe other people can learn as well? Is like, we know that pre-production docs and all these things are really important. Other people might find that useful because it'll help them make better YouTube videos too. What are we going to call that idea?
YouTube interview prep.com, prep generator, YouTube generator. Struggling with these ideas.
What if you framed it around views?
Yeah, the website, it's called like 1 of 10.
Have you heard of that one? Yep. That's a good one. Is there any other terms for that? Banger, maybe something around banger. Like that's something that people use to describe it when you have a 1 million view video.
Yeah. Viral, something like that.
Is there any search term we could build this off of? So go to Google and search how to create a viral video or viral video generator or viral video ideas.
Shorts.
It's actually creating the videos.
Yeah, it's like creating. But this is like not exactly creating. It's like viral video idea. AI YouTube video ideas generator.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some of these on here.
I kind of like the angle of the production angle, but I imagine there's a lot of producers out there that go and pitch creators or teams more on the pitch side than the actual creation side.
Yeah.
We want to know exactly what we're doing before we go into it. Let's automate that process. We're not going to create the videos that help you create a better idea, which will save you time and money.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an idea there.
What are we calling it again? YouTube producer prep. All right. Idea. See, it sucks when you actually have to go and Google it and you realize that there's like 16 other tools. This is the demoralizing thing that a lot of people will run into is that they see, oh, someone else built this or, oh, that looks really advanced. I might as well not build this. So we're going through this process live, and put in the comments if you have felt this way about your ideas. But again, the number one rule of the $1 build challenge is we don't quit. We will never give up. Idea number 3.
Okay, this is like totally not related, but we always talk about this one too. It's called Dilly Dally Games.
Yep.
It's this guy who created an online game called Mexican Train. This is going to sound unrelated. Let me know. What you think? It's freezing up my screen here, so I'm going to click off. But
That's a lot of ads.
clearly, all you do is play Mexican Train, which I actually do know how to play, I think. And again, this is going to sound totally unrelated, but I like the idea of a game, like a gamified something. So something you wouldn't know about me maybe is I like to walk a lot. Like I walk my dog in the morning. I walk like a mile and a half in the day, at lunch, and in the afternoon. I kind of had this idea, and thinking about it now, again, it feels like unrelated, but better walk step tracker. The idea I have is like a mobile app or something that lets you not only track like it's not really about like your daily step count. It's like about a bigger goal or something that you have. The idea I had, actually my wife came up with this idea once. She said, I want to know how long it takes to walk or how many steps it would be to walk across like the US. And so something like that, where it's like on a daily basis, I'm walking and it's tracking my steps and it's showing my progress towards that bigger goal. So maybe in the app, I say, I want to walk across the US. And it says, okay, that's approximately 1,000,000 steps. It's not necessarily a goal. Do it in a month. It's more like just over time. Maybe you can do a goal, but over time, it just like automatically updates and says, you're now at 40,000 steps to 1,000,000. You're at 150,000 steps to 1,000,000. There's this, I think it's this Twitter account I follow. It's like year progress bar or something like that.
I know this one.
I don't actually know if it makes like money. And it'll just go, he posts this every so often. The year is now 3% complete, 20% complete. And it's interesting, right? Just like it's increasing as you can see there. So something like that would be fun. This is old 2024. There's a different account like that. There's probably multiple accounts like this.
Yeah.
But it's just like progress.
I like this.
Something like that.
Yeah. And you're really passionate about walking. I mean, you say you walk 5 miles a day.
I don't know if I want to say passionate, but I would say like it's like probably the most consistent thing I do.
Right.
Yeah, most days.
Like
I'm
that.
listening to something or I'm walking my dog or I work from home. So to get up and stretch and stuff.
Right. And everybody walks, right? Very like, everybody wants to do, 10,000 steps a day is something that you hear a lot. And everyone has an iPhone that can track how many steps they take. So it's already kind of built into. Yeah. And there's this girl I follow. I'm not going to be able to find her, but she has this like long thread. What's her name? It's like Walking Girl or something like that. She has this really long thread of today I walked 10 miles and had lasagna. And this thing is going on forever. Today I walked this long and had this for dinner. Today I had this long, had this long for dinner. Wow. And it gets like millions of views. Hell?
Yeah, really cool girl.
I mean, she happens to live in like the most beautiful scenery I've ever seen.
Totally. But her whole thing is just look at today I walked.
Okay.
Kind of unrelated, but just like
walking app. Okay. I have some ideas for this, but I don't want to say them here on this podcast because I like that one a lot, but I also don't want to give away some stuff that could ruin your potential virality with this thing. So I'm going to hold off on those. I like that idea. Yeah.
Hold off the grifters.
Yeah, exactly. I like that idea because everybody has an iPhone, which tracks how many steps you have. So there's no newly required app. There's no like, I don't know, new activity you have to do or something like that. It's kind of like the Lock It app that we talked about in a few episodes here is like, it's some feature of the iPhone that already exists and you're just gonna do something cool with it. It's inherently shareable, like the one that you just showed me there with that she's just sharing her steps or whatever, and which will naturally potentially create virality. And we're not trying to make $1 million here. We're trying to make $1, but more importantly, get you a bunch of users and attention and have fun because that's what vibe coding is about. So let's go through the ideas and then we'll come up with a conclusion of which one you're going to build.
Sure.
So, okay, let's go back to the first one, which is Get Baked, which is the touch grass app, but instead with sun on your face. Screen blocking, help you prevent distraction. I think that's a good idea. How are you feeling about that idea? And what do you think some of the pros and cons are?
I'll say I don't feel great about any of them. I'm just kidding. Learning all these little lessons, listening to all these interviews and stuff. One guy said build apps that are around like health or wealth or things like that. And those are always going to be in style.
Yep.
So I think the big pro of that one is there's a little movement of as much as we're online, we should think about being offline. Yeah. So I think there's a little bit of a trend that's happening.
Yeah.
From a like building a perspective, like I think for all of these, probably for the YouTube one, I think that's probably the one that feels the easiest. But for this one, I wouldn't know how to do the take a picture thing or lock the phone thing.
Yeah. I'd say the difficulty on that one is in terms of the 3 is going to be the highest in terms of your experience with building products. What I think is more important than the difficulty, because that can always be solved, is what is your, I guess, passion for solving that problem? Could you see yourself building this and proud to show it to friends, family, and that sort of thing over the next 3 months, 6 months, that sort of thing?
Yeah, it's probably the lowest of the three I've talked about.
Okay. It's hard to build and you have low passion for it. YouTube producerprep.com. What do you, how you feeling about that one? And
Well, that one would certainly make my life easier in many respects because of how many videos we're trying to do. Yeah, so there's a streamline, make it easier. I do some of this in ChatGPT today, but sometimes if you have too long of a thread with ChatGPT, it starts to really mess up, is what I've learned. Sometimes I'm like repeating the same things all the time. I take the prompt, I put it in, I copy and paste all this stuff. So yeah, there's like an element of that'd be easy, make my life easier. It's obviously very specific. I only do this on Starter Story, and it's like maybe a small, I don't want to say market or anything like that. I'm not really thinking like that, but only so many YouTube producers, which maybe that makes it even better.
Yep.
It's like a very specific thing. But on the other hand, everyone probably does YouTube videos a certain way. It's almost hard to make it uniform. And then in terms of excitement, I don't know.
Sorry guys, my camera is malfunctioning from these fiery ideas that we're going through right now. It's overheating. But where were we? You were talking about your excitement for the YouTube producer prep.
Yeah, I was kind of like, it'd probably be two. Probably rank number 2.
Okay. So pros, it'll just make your life easier. One of the cons is a lower TAM. Less people would find it useful or would use it because it's just more niche, but that can also be a good thing. It's not necessarily shareable. I think kind of mentioned on that is like, it's more some people which kind of use privately, maybe share with their very specific friends in the space. And the excitement is medium. Okay. Yeah. All right. From the difficulty perspective, I would say that one is the easiest, probably, generally speaking. It's hard to say, but it depends on what features you'd build. But of the 3, that's probably the easiest one to actually ship live into production. Yeah. We'll get to the third one. So let's talk about the third one, pros and cons. The walking app.
Yeah, I love walking. I love listening. I love getting out there. So it's like, sounds fun. Yeah. You know? I like the idea of like a game. Because, I do track my steps every day. And sometimes I'm like, oh, cool, another X amount, 10,000, whatever, 12,000. But I kind of like the idea of like, oh, how far have I walked like this year? I look at the health app every day and I don't actually know if you can do that. I'm sure you can. I just don't know. But then I like the idea of like a progress bar. Yeah. Like that sounds kind of fun, like a gamified fun way of doing it. And then I think you said something earlier. You were like, how would you feel like to share that with people? And I think that'd be one I would be excited to share with people more than like hey, mom and dad, I built a YouTube generator. Yeah. Like versus like whoever, hey, I built this thing that tracks my steps in a more fun way. Than just like the circles on Apple.
Fuck all the other stuff, in terms of the TAM and all these things. If it's something that you're excited about, that's something that will keep you going even when, it gets tough and you have to figure out how to connect that API to the Apple Health app or whatever it is. That's going to be the thing that is going to keep you going, following curiosity, excitement. I think there's also some really good things about that idea in terms of, anybody can relate to it. It's inherently shareable. I want to go use it because I've been trying to walk more too. And I could see myself using something like that. I have some cool ideas for you, but I think what's also cool about this process is you'll learn some things about like virality, which you already know somewhat about, because you've been studying founders doing it. But I think going through that process and seeing if you can that would be like a really cool learning experience too. It's a good marketing play as well. And you'll learn a lot through that process. So I think it'll be the medium in terms of difficulty to build, but I also have some ideas for you that I'm not going to share here because I don't want someone to, jump the gun because you're still a little beginner in terms of the building side of things, but we'll talk all about that in future episodes. Yeah. So let's end this with a decision on which idea you want to build. I have a feeling I know what you're going to respond with. And then let's come up with maybe, 7-day, 30-day plan or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, let's do the walking app. That one sounds fun. Okay. And I've been thinking about that one. Plan? I don't know. Like, say, hey, cursor, make this.
Okay. I like it.
But yeah, maybe the plan is like spend 30 minutes to an hour a day. And let's start with like 30 minutes or something like that. Yeah. And just like kind of start talking to ChatGPT or like kind of following what you've done, I guess, in the 100K challenge and see like what kind of basic thing I can come up with in like a week or in 2 weeks, something like that, or whenever we decide to record next.
Yeah. Next time you come on the podcast, you heard it here. Gus is doing the 100K challenge, now renamed the $1 challenge. I think that this is going to be awesome, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please let us know in the comments what you think about the 3 different ideas, what you think about the potential walking app idea, and what you want to see us cover in future episodes when it comes to the builds, potentially the marketing, the virality, and all these things. The one promise of the 100K build challenge or the $1 build challenge is that usually is not the first idea that will make you successful. So I think what would be cool, we'll get to hear what works, what didn't, and then we'll pivot from there. And the only goal is to get you with a successful product that lots of people are using. And hopefully that will inspire a lot of people watching this.
Let's do it.
All right. Next time, you guys put in the comments if you like this, what you want to see next, and we'll keep going. That has been the Starter Story podcast. Thank you guys for watching. And if you're ready to build apps, check out Starter Story Build. I'll put the link in the description, and lots more to come.